This is Brian Carlton for ABN Newswire. I'm back at the Bowlers Club of New South Wales for the July Symposium Resources Roadshow, where ASX listed companies take advantage of the opportunity to have a yarn, present directly to potential investors in a nice, relaxed and informal environment. Presenting today was Metminco, ASX code MNC, which is an ASX and AIM listed mining exploration company with a 69.4% holding in Hampton Mining Limited. Hampton has exploration projects located in Chile and Peru, mainly focused on copper, but with significant exposure to gold, molybdenum and zinc. The projects range from mine pre-feasibility through advanced exploration to grassroots exploration. Metminco Director Bill Etheridge joins me now. Bill, welcome to ABN Newswire.
Thank you. Thanks, Brian.
Metminco recently bought a majority stake in Hampton Mining. What was the attraction?
Well, we didn't buy the stake. Hampton Mining has been around for about 6 or 7 years, operating in South America. Hampton has built up a suite of projects. And then in 2008, late 2008, Metminco, an ASX-listed company, made a bid for Hampton. Acquired an initial stake of about 36% by the middle of 2009. And then early this year, Metminco bought another stake in Hampton from one of the big shareholders in Hampton and now has an interest in Hampton of approximately 70%. And control of Hampton.
Okay, you're looking at raising that stake yet more?
We'll see what happens. I mean, the main thing is the crucial step early this year was to get control of Hampton, so it's now a subsidiary. We have control of the projects, which simplifies the growth of shareholder value. Let's see what happens to the ownership in due course.
You've recently announced a major copper and molybdenum resources upgrade at Los Calatos in southern Peru. How substantial is that upgrade?
Very substantial. This is a very exciting project. We believe we have a world-class copper discovery by the tail, and we don't use those words lightly. The initial resource was only 260 million tonnes about a year ago. The new resource of nearly 1 billion tonnes at a 0.2 copper cutoff, which is a kind of cutoff applied to large-scale open-pit mining, nearly 1 billion tonnes, is based on only about 20,000 metres of drilling. We've hardly scratched the surface in what is a very large copper porphyry system.
Obviously, operating in South America now is a lot easier than it would have been a few decades ago, more politically stable. How much has that benefited you?
Well, we regard both Chile and Peru as outstanding mining jurisdictions. We commenced, in terms of projects, Hampton commenced in Chile with a bunch of projects there. Calatos we picked up in 2007. A major attraction for both Chile and Peru is that both those countries have large established existing mining industries, and in both cases those industries have expanded considerably in recent decades. So they understand mining, they're comfortable with mining, provided you go about that business in a responsible way.
Now, costs are always the key. Labour, access to infrastructure, their benefits?
Well, Calatos is in an outstanding location. Geologically, it's in an outstanding location in a major copper porphyry belt, but also in terms of access, it's in a great position. The project lies only an hour north of the Pan American Highway. It's in desert, near the coast, very accessible in an existing mining area. So we're near infrastructure, we're near labour, and so it's a great, and we can drill all year round there, moderate elevations. So it's in a great location.
What export markets are you targeting?
I guess it's the world. I mean, copper will go where it's needed, and as we all very aware, a lot of that copper today is going to China. So it will go where it's needed.
You've got gold, zinc, and a copper leach project in Chile as well. Tell me about them.
Well, Chile's interesting. We started business there in 2006. We started with 3 initial projects. Hampton did. Owned 50% in partnership with the Chilean family. We drilled those 3 projects in 2006, Miakas, Vaiceo and Loica. 2 of those projects are likely to become mines. So as an exploration strike rate, that's a great start. Yeah. Miakas will be a small but profitable copper leach operation. Vaiceo is a gold zinc sulfide system as part of a porphyry system. And we've got a significant JORC resource there, over 700,000 ounces gold equivalent at the moment. And significantly, we've undertaken recent surface exploration across the Vaiceo tenements and discovered a whole bunch of new targets. Some of them are gold, zinc, breccia type targets. Other targets are copper, gold, porphyry targets. So Viaceo now has a lot of exploration upside in addition to the current resources.
What size are the tenements in Chile?
In Chile, Miacis is kind of 30 square kilometres approximately, Viaceo 54 square kilometres, so large enough to accommodate large operations.
What else is on your agenda in South America? There's a leading question for you.
We have our hands full with our projects at the moment. I think for us to take on additional projects in other parts of South America, they'd have to meet a very high hurdle rate of return to beat what we've got on our plate at the moment.
You're divesting your Australian interests?
Yes, Metminco, as I say, I think it was formed or listed on the ASX in 2007 with some exploration areas in Western Australia, and those areas are being divested. They are non-material in the total scheme of things now. Yep.
What sort of benefits do you think you derive from presenting at nights like these symposium events? What's the advantage for a company like yours?
Well, obviously to achieve the sorts of returns to shareholders in listed markets that we want to, you have to tell the story, and you tell the story in all sorts of ways. This is one of them. And sometimes you don't know exactly which way is going to be best until you try it. So it's best to talk more widely rather than less widely. But I can tell tonight from just meeting some of the people after the talk that it was certainly worth attending. So
lots of questions and interest?
Correct. And I mean, at this particular occasion, a range of potential interested people, brokers, fund managers, investors.
Always good to have on site, aren't they?
Correct.
If you could distill the story down to a single point, what was your pitch to them? What's the advantage of potential shareholders coming on as investors?
Two major aspects. Number one, as I say, we believe we have a world-class copper molybdenum discovery in our hands. Very early days, very exciting. Secondly, the story is not well known, and we believe that the current market valuation of the story is cheap, partly because we have not done much marketing, and so we'll tell the world and let the world vote.
Well, I hope this helps a little bit.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks so much. Metminco Limited Director Bill Etheridge. Thanks so much for joining me.
Pleasure.
This is Brian Carlton for ABN Newswire.